Let's start number 1. What if I told you the next Mustang GT350 isn't just a comeback? It's a complete reset of what a modern performance car is supposed to feel like, because the 2026-27 Ford Mustang GT350 isn't chasing the past anymore. It's quietly rewriting it. And once you see what Ford has done here, the idea of a traditional muscle car might never feel the same again. You're watching premium automotive reviews where we don't just look at cars, we decode them. And this time, you're about to experience a machine that blends heritage with something far more advanced than most people expected. Stay with me, because there are details in this GT350 that don't reveal themselves immediately, and they completely change how you understand this car. At first glance, it still carries that unmistakable Mustang DNA. Long hood, aggressive stance, that iconic silhouette. It's all there. But look closer, and the evolution becomes obvious. The front fascia feels sharper, more purposeful, with slimmer LED headlights that cut through the design like precision tools rather than decorative elements. The grille is wider and more open, not just for presence but for real airflow management, feeding a powertrain that demands serious cooling. The hood lines aren't just sculpted, they're functional. Air extraction vents guide heat away, while subtle aerodynamic channels direct airflow over and around the car. From the side, the GT350 feels tighter, more athletic, almost like it's been compressed into a more focused form. The wheel arches are pronounced, housing larger, lighter performance wheels that hint at the grip this car is capable of delivering. As you move toward the rear, the design becomes even more deliberate. The signature tri-bar taillights are still here, but now they're sharper, more modern, integrated into a rear profile that feels wider and more planted. A functional diffuser, quad exhaust outlets, and refined aerodynamic shaping give it that quiet aggression. It doesn't need to shout. It just looks ready. Step inside, and this is where the transformation really takes hold. The interior no longer feels like a simple extension of the exterior. It feels like a command center. Everything is angled toward the driver, creating an environment that's both immersive and intuitive. Premium materials surround you, from soft-touch surfaces to performance-focused trims, blending comfort with intent. The digital display setup is seamless. A high-resolution instrument cluster merges with a central infotainment system that feels fast, responsive, and intelligently designed. It's not just about screens. It's about how those screens interact with you. The system learns your preferences, adapts layouts, and even suggests driving modes based on your habits. Ambient lighting flows through the cabin in a way that feels purposeful, not decorative. It shifts with driving modes, subtly reinforcing the car's personality as it changes from relaxed cruiser to focused performance machine. And then there's the seating, deeply supportive, designed to hold you in place during aggressive driving, but comfortable enough for long journeys. This isn't a car that forces you to choose between performance and usability. It gives you both. But here's where things start to get really interesting. The technology in this GT350 isn't just modern, it's predictive. Advanced driver assistance systems work quietly in the background, enhancing your awareness without taking control away from you. Adaptive cruise, lane centering, intelligent braking. It's all integrated in a way that feels natural, almost invisible. There's also a deeper layer of connectivity. Over-the-air updates keep the system evolving, while integrated apps and cloud-based features make the car feel like part of a larger digital ecosystem. It's not just a machine anymore. It's something that grows with you. Now let's talk about the heart of the GT350, because this is where expectations get challenged. The performance philosophy here isn't just about raw numbers, it's about how those numbers are delivered. Whether it's an evolved high-revving V8 or a hybrid-assisted setup, the focus is clear. Instant response, controlled power, and a driving experience that feels alive. Acceleration isn't just fast, it's precise. The throttle response feels immediate, almost telepathic. The drivetrain has been refined to deliver power smoothly, without losing that aggressive edge that defines the GT350 name. And the sound, it's still there, but it's more refined, more intentional. Not just noise, but character. The suspension system has taken a major step forward. Adaptive dampers read the road in real time, adjusting constantly to maintain balance and control. Whether you're pushing through corners or cruising on the highway, the car feels composed, confident, and connected. Steering feedback is sharp, giving you that direct communication that performance drivers crave. And yet, despite all of this, the GT350 remains surprisingly usable. This is a car you can live with. The ride and comfort mode is refined enough for daily driving. The cabin is quiet when you need it to be, and there's enough practicality to make it more than just a weekend toy. It fits into real life without losing its edge. So what does this mean emotionally? That's the real question. Because the GT350 has always been about more than performance. It's about connection. And this new generation takes that idea further. It bridges the gap between analog excitement and digital precision, creating something that feels both familiar and completely new. It's not trying to compete the old way. It's not just about being louder or more aggressive than everything else. Instead, it's about being smarter, more refined, and more capable in ways that actually matter. It's for drivers who understand that performance isn't just about speed. It's about control, confidence, and feeling. And that's why the 2026-27 Mustang GT350 stands out. It respects its roots, but it's not limited by them. It takes everything that made the original special and pushes it into a future where technology and emotion work together instead of competing. Because in the end, this isn't just another Mustang. It's a glimpse into where performance cars are heading. A place where power meets intelligence, where design meets purpose, and where the driving experience becomes something deeper than just acceleration. If you've made it this far, you already see it. This GT350 isn't just evolving, it's redefining what it means to be a modern performance icon. And if that excites you, you already know you're in the right place. Let me know what you think about this next generation GT350. Does it still carry the soul of a true Mustang, or has it become something entirely new? And if you want more insights like this, you know what to do. Let's start. Number 2. What if the next Corvette isn't just faster than everything you know, but smarter, sharper, and engineered to quietly outperform cars that cost 3 times as much? Because the 2026-27 Chevrolet Corvette Zora isn't playing by the old supercar rules anymore. And once you understand what's happening under and around this car, it becomes very hard to look at traditional performance the same way again. You're watching Premium Automotive Reviews, where we go beyond the obvious and break down what actually makes a car matter. And this time, you're not just looking at another Corvette, you're looking at a machine that feels like a turning point. Stay with me, because there are details here most people miss at first glance. And they completely redefine what this car really is. From the moment it appears, the Zora doesn't try to blend in. It sits low, impossibly wide, with a presence that feels more like a hypercar than anything wearing a Corvette badge before it. The front end is sculpted with intent, not decoration. Those aggressive air intakes aren't just for show, they're actively feeding a cooling system designed for extreme performance. The headlights are slimmer, more technical, almost like they're part of the aerodynamics rather than just lighting the road. Look at the hood and you start to see the philosophy behind this car. Every line channels airflow, every vent extracts heat, every curve is calculated. It's not just about looking fast, it's about being efficient at speed. And then your eyes move to the sides, where the bodywork tightens and flows toward the rear with a kind of tension that suggests motion even when it's standing still. The wheels are larger, lighter, and designed to work with an advanced braking system that feels closer to race engineering than road car compromise. Behind them, the stance tells you everything you need to know. This is a car built to grip, to launch, to hold its line, no matter what you throw at it. And then you reach the rear, where things get even more serious. The taillights retain that Corvette identity, but everything around them has evolved. A massive diffuser, quad exhaust outlets, and a rear wing that isn't just aesthetic. It's functional, actively managing downforce at speed. This isn't styling. This is engineering, you can see. But the real shift happens when you step inside. Because the Zora doesn't just upgrade the interior, it reimagines it. You drop into the driver's seat and immediately feel the difference. The cockpit wraps around you, creating a sense of focus that older performance cars simply didn't have. Everything is where it needs to be, and nothing feels unnecessary. The materials feel elevated, precise, combining performance textures with premium finishes. Carbon fiber elements blend seamlessly with soft-touch surfaces, while subtle metallic accents give the cabin a sense of purpose. And then there's the lighting, ambient, controlled, adapting to the driving mode in a way that feels alive rather than decorative. In front of you, the digital cluster doesn't just show information, it prioritizes it. When you're driving hard, it simplifies. When you're cruising, it expands. The central display is fast, intuitive, and deeply integrated with the car's systems. But here's where it gets interesting. The interface isn't static, it learns. It adapts to how you drive, how you interact, and even how you prefer to see data presented. And that's a theme throughout the Zora. Intelligence. This car isn't just powerful, it's aware. Advanced driver assistance systems operate quietly in the background, enhancing safety without interrupting the experience. Lane positioning, adaptive responses, predictive braking. It all works together in a way that feels natural, almost invisible. Connectivity goes beyond simple smartphone integration. The Zora becomes part of a larger digital ecosystem. Over-the-air updates mean the car evolves over time, gaining new features, refining existing ones, and staying relevant in a way older performance cars never could. It's not just a machine you buy. It's one that grows with you. Now, let's talk about what really defines the Zora, because this is where everything changes. The performance here isn't just about raw power. It's about how that power is delivered. There's a hybrid element to this system, but not in the way most people expect. It's not about efficiency first. It's about performance first, with electrification used to enhance response, fill gaps, and create a level of immediacy that feels almost unreal. Acceleration doesn't build, it hits, instantly. There's no hesitation, no waiting. Just a seamless surge that feels controlled but relentless. The engine and electric assistance work together in a way that feels unified, not layered. And the sound? It's still there, but it's refined, purposeful, engineered to complement the experience rather than overpower it. The drivetrain channels that power with precision. Grip feels absolute, thanks to an advanced all-wheel drive system that constantly adjusts to maintain balance. The suspension reads the road in real time, adapting instantly to changes in surface and driving style. Whether you're pushing through corners or cruising at speed, the car feels composed, confident, and incredibly stable. But what makes the Zora truly interesting is how it balances all of this with usability. This isn't a car that demands sacrifice. The ride, when you want it to be, is surprisingly comfortable. The cabin is quiet enough for long drives. There's enough practicality built in to make it something you could actually live with, not just admire. And that creates a different kind of emotional connection. Because the Zora isn't just about extremes, it's about control. It gives you access to incredible performance, but it does so in a way that feels approachable, manageable, and deeply engaging. So who is this car really for? It's for the driver who understands that the future of performance isn't just louder or faster. It's smarter. It's for someone who wants the thrill of a traditional supercar, but with the refinement and intelligence of modern engineering. It's for those who see where the industry is heading and want to be part of that shift. Because when you compare this to what came before, the difference is clear. Older performance cars relied on brute force. The Zora uses precision. It doesn't fight the road, it works with it. It doesn't overwhelm the driver, it enhances them. And that's why this car matters. Not just as a Corvette, but as a statement. It shows what happens when heritage meets innovation without compromise. When a brand known for value decides to push into a space traditionally dominated by much more expensive machines, and actually belongs there, by the time you step back and take it all in, you realize something important. The 2026-27 Corvette Zora doesn't feel like the next step. It feels like a glimpse ahead, a look at what performance cars are becoming, where technology and emotion merge into something entirely new. And once you see it that way, it's hard to go back. So what do you think? Has the Corvette Zora just redefined the supercar formula? Or is this the beginning of something even bigger? If this kind of deep dive changed how you see cars like this, you already know where to stay. Let's start number 3. What if the most aggressive American supercar ever built just came back? Not louder, not wilder, but smarter, sharper, and far more dangerous than anyone expected. Because the 2026-27 Dodge Viper isn't just a comeback story, it's a complete reinvention. And once you understand what this machine is really capable of, you'll realize why the entire performance world is paying attention right now. You're watching premium automotive reviews, where we don't just look at cars. We decode what makes them matter. And this time, you're not just seeing a new Viper, you're witnessing the rebirth of an icon that refused to stay in the past. Stay with me, because there are details hidden in this car that completely change how you think about modern performance. At first glance, it still hits you with that unmistakable Viper attitude. Long, low, wide, and unapologetically aggressive. But look closer, and you start to notice something different. This isn't the raw, unpredictable beast from before. This is precision, engineered into every line. The front fascia feels sharper, more sculpted, almost like it's been carved by airflow itself. Those ultra-slim LED strips stretch across the edges, giving it a focused, almost predatory stare. The hood design tells a story on its own. Deep vents, layered surfaces, and aerodynamic channels aren't just visual drama. They're actively pulling heat away, managing pressure and stabilizing the car at high speeds. Every inch feels intentional. Every curve feels functional. And as your eyes move along the body, that tension builds. From the side profile, the Viper looks tighter, more refined. The proportions are still dramatic, but now there's a sense of control. Larger performance wheels sit perfectly within widened arches, and behind them, a braking system that hints at serious track capability. The body lines flow cleanly toward the rear, where things get even more intense. The back end feels like a statement, wide, planted, and purposeful. The LED taillights stretch across in a sleek, modern signature, while the quad exhaust setup sits low and centered, surrounded by a diffuser that looks like it belongs on a race car. And here's the thing. You're not just looking at design. You're looking at airflow management, downforce generation, and stability at speeds most cars never even approach. But the real surprise begins the moment you step inside, because this is where the Viper breaks away from everything it used to be. Instead of a raw, minimal cabin, you're welcomed into something far more refined, yet still completely driver-focused. The cockpit wraps around you with intention. The seating position is low, connected, and purposeful, but now there's comfort layered into the experience. Premium materials, precision stitching, and carbon fiber accents create a balance between performance and luxury that older Vipers never attempted. In front of you, the digital instrument cluster feels alive. It adapts depending on how you drive. Push the car harder, and it simplifies, focusing only on what matters. Ease back, and it opens up, giving you more information, more control, more connection. The central display is fast, responsive, and seamlessly integrated, but what makes it different is how it interacts with the car itself. This isn't just infotainment, it's intelligence. The system learns your habits, your driving style, even your preferences. It adjusts settings automatically, suggesting drive modes, suspension responses, and even route optimizations based on real-time conditions. And yes, over-the-air updates mean the car continues to evolve, improving long after you've driven it off the lot. Ambient lighting flows through the cabin in subtle lines, shifting tones depending on the driving mode. It's not flashy, it's atmospheric. It enhances the experience without distracting from it. And when you combine that with improved sound insulation and refined ergonomics, you start to realize something unexpected. This Viper isn't just built for adrenaline. It's built for real-world use too. Now here's where things get truly interesting. Because the biggest transformation isn't what you see, it's what you feel when you drive it. The new Viper doesn't rely purely on brute force anymore. It blends raw power with advanced engineering in a way that feels controlled. There's still that unmistakable punch when you accelerate, that instant surge that pins you back and reminds you what this car stands for. But now it's more refined, more precise. Power delivery feels smoother, yet somehow more aggressive at the same time. It doesn't fight you, it works with you. There are strong indications of hybrid assistance integrated into the system. Not to soften the car, but to sharpen it. Instant torque fills in every gap, making acceleration feel continuous, almost relentless. The response is immediate. The connection feels direct, and then there's the handling. This is where the old Viper would challenge you. But now, it communicates. The suspension reads the road in real time, adjusting constantly to maintain balance. The steering feels tighter, more predictable, yet still engaging. You're not just controlling the car, you're connected to it. All-wheel traction systems quietly manage power distribution, giving you confidence where older versions demanded caution. And that changes everything. Because now, the Viper isn't just fast, it's usable fast. Safety has evolved too, but in a way that respects the car's identity. Driver assistance systems operate in the background, enhancing awareness without interfering. You still feel in control, but with an added layer of intelligence supporting you. And this leads to something most people wouldn't expect to hear about a Viper: daily usability. The ride can soften when you need it to. The cabin is comfortable enough for longer drives. Storage and practicality have been subtly improved. It's still a performance-first machine, but it no longer punishes you for wanting to enjoy it more often. So where does this leave the new Viper in today's world? Emotionally, it still carries that raw, aggressive DNA. But technologically, it stepped into a completely different league. It doesn't try to copy anything else. It evolves on its own terms, and that's what makes it special. Because this isn't just a revival, it's a transformation. It takes everything people loved about the Viper and refines it into something far more complete. This car is for the driver who wants intensity, but also intelligence. Someone who respects the past, but refuses to stay stuck in it. Someone who doesn't just want speed, but control, confidence, and connection. By the time you step back and take it all in, one thing becomes clear. The 2026-27 Dodge Viper isn't here to relive history. It's here to rewrite it. And once you experience what this new generation feels like, the idea of what a modern American supercar should be might never look the same again. So now I want to know, did Dodge just bring the Viper back, or did they quietly build something even more important? Let's start number 4. What if Cadillac just brought back one of its most legendary names and turned it into something so futuristic? It doesn't just compete, it completely changes what luxury performance is supposed to feel like, because the 2026-27 Cadillac El Dorado isn't a nostalgic comeback, it's a statement. And once you start noticing what Cadillac has quietly built into this machine, it becomes clear, this isn't just evolution, it's a reset. You're watching premium automotive reviews where we go beyond the surface and uncover what truly makes a car matter. And this time, you're not just looking at a new El Dorado. You're witnessing a reinvention that blends heritage with technology in a way that feels almost ahead of its time. And trust me, there are details in this car that most people will miss at first glance. At a distance, the presence is undeniable. Long, low, and impossibly sleek, the new El Dorado carries itself with a kind of confidence that doesn't need to shout. But as the camera moves closer, the design starts revealing its layers. That front fascia is sharp, sculpted, and incredibly modern, anchored by Cadillac's signature illuminated grille that feels more like a digital interface than a traditional design element. The vertical LED lighting isn't just styling, it's identity. It stretches down the edges with precision, giving the car a distinctive look that's instantly recognizable, day or night. And then there's the bodywork itself. Smooth, flowing surfaces meet aggressive lines in a way that feels controlled, almost architectural. It doesn't look over-designed, it looks intentional. Look at the side profile, and you'll see where this car really begins to separate itself. The proportions are dramatic, but not exaggerated. The roofline flows seamlessly into the rear, creating a silhouette that feels both luxurious and aerodynamic. Large, intricately designed wheels fill the arches perfectly, hinting at performance without compromising elegance. And then you reach the rear, where the El Dorado makes its strongest impression. Those vertical taillights extend downward like glowing blades, framing a wide planted stance. The light bar stretches across the back, tying everything together in a clean, futuristic signature. Quad exhaust outlets sit low, integrated into a diffuser that suggests there's far more performance here than the calm exterior might imply. But the real transformation happens the moment you step inside. Because this is where Cadillac redefines what modern luxury actually feels like. The cabin doesn't just welcome you, it surrounds you. The first thing you notice is space. Not just physical space, but visual clarity. The dashboard flows in one continuous line, anchored by a wide, curved display that blends the instrument cluster and infotainment into a single, seamless experience. It's not just a screen, it's an environment. Materials feel carefully chosen, not just premium for the sake of it. Soft leather, brushed metals, and subtle carbon accents all come together in a way that feels balanced. Nothing is trying too hard. Everything just fits. And then there's the intelligence built into it. This El Dorado doesn't just respond to your inputs, it anticipates them. The system learns how you drive, how you interact, even how you prefer the cabin to feel. Climate, seating position, ambient lighting. It all adapts quietly in the background, creating an experience that feels personal without ever being intrusive. Ambient lighting flows subtly through the interior, shifting tones depending on your mood or driving mode. It's the kind of detail you don't notice immediately, but once you do, it changes how the entire cabin feels. The seats are designed for long journeys, offering both support and comfort, making it clear that this isn't just a performance machine. It's a grand tourer in the truest sense. And that brings us to what's happening beneath the surface. Because while the El Dorado looks refined, it's hiding something far more advanced. There are strong signs that Cadillac is pushing toward a hybrid or fully electrified performance system here, blending instant torque with smooth, controlled power delivery. Acceleration doesn't feel aggressive in the traditional sense. It feels effortless, immediate, continuous. There's no drama in the delivery, but the speed builds in a way that feels almost unreal. It's the kind of performance that doesn't need to prove itself. It simply exists. And when it comes to driving dynamics, the difference between old and new becomes even clearer. This isn't a heavy luxury coupe trying to handle like a sports car. This is a platform designed from the ground up to balance comfort and control. Adaptive suspension systems read the road in real time, adjusting constantly to maintain composure. The steering feels precise without being overly sharp, giving you confidence without demanding constant correction. And as you push the car harder, it responds, not with resistance, but with clarity. Advanced driver assistance systems are seamlessly integrated, offering support when needed without ever taking away the sense of control. It's not about replacing the driver. It's about enhancing the experience. And here's something that might surprise you. Despite all this technology and performance, the Eldorado still feels practical. It's comfortable enough for daily driving, quiet enough for long journeys, and spacious enough to actually live with. It's not trying to be extreme, it's trying to be complete. So, what does this mean for where the Eldorado sits today? Emotionally, it carries the legacy of a name that defined American luxury for decades. But technologically, it steps into a space that feels entirely new. It doesn't rely on nostalgia. It respects it, but then it moves forward. And that's what makes this car different. It's not trying to compete in the old way. It's creating its own definition of what a modern luxury performance coupe should be. This is for someone who values presence without noise, power without chaos, technology without complication. Someone who wants a car that feels just as advanced as the world around it. And by the time you step back and take it all in, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. The 2026-27 Cadillac El Dorado isn't just a return of a legendary name. It's a glimpse into where luxury is going next. So now the question isn't whether Cadillac brought the El Dorado back. The real question is, did they just redefine it? What if the quietest-looking car on the road just became the most dangerous thing you could line up against? And nobody saw it coming. Because the 2026-27 Chevy Nova Sleeper isn't trying to impress you at first glance. It's waiting for the moment you underestimate it. And by the time you realize what it really is, it's already gone. You're watching premium automotive reviews, where we don't just look at cars. We decode what makes them special. And this one is different. Because hidden beneath a clean, almost familiar design is a machine that completely flips the idea of a sleeper on its head. And there's something about the way it's been engineered that makes it even more interesting the deeper you look. At first, it doesn't scream performance. The front end feels sharp, modern, but controlled. Those LED headlights are sleek and focused, sitting above a wide grille that looks purposeful without being aggressive. The Nova badge sits confidently in the center, almost like it knows something you don't. But then you start noticing the details. Hood lines aren't just styling. They hint at what's underneath. Subtle vents, carefully placed contours, everything designed to manage airflow rather than just look fast. And that's when it clicks. This car isn't trying to show off. It's hiding in plain sight. Move along the side, and the proportions tell their own story. Low stance, wide track, and a profile that feels planted without being exaggerated. The wheels are large, performance-focused, but they don't overpower the design. There's a balance here that feels intentional. Clean surfaces, sharp edges, and just enough aggression to suggest there's more going on beneath. And then you reach the rear, where the personality starts to reveal itself. Quad exhaust tips, a subtle diffuser, and taillights that carry a modern, angular signature. It's still restrained, but now there's tension. Like the car is holding something back, but the real shift happens the moment you step inside. Because this is where the Nova stops being subtle and starts becoming something else entirely. The cabin feels driver-focused immediately. Everything is angled toward you, wrapped in materials that feel far more premium than you'd expect from a name like Nova. Soft-touch surfaces, stitched leather, and carbon-style accents give it a performance-oriented atmosphere without losing comfort. And then the lighting comes alive. Ambient strips flow across the dashboard, doors, and center console, creating a futuristic glow that changes depending on your driving mode. It's not just aesthetic. It changes the mood of the entire space. The digital cluster in front of you is crisp, responsive, and fully customizable. It doesn't just show speed. It tells you what the car is doing, how it's behaving, how much power is being delivered. And the central display ties everything together, offering seamless connectivity, smart navigation, and a system that feels fast, intuitive, and genuinely modern. But what really stands out is how intelligent everything feels. This car learns. It adapts to how you drive, how you accelerate, how you brake. It adjusts throttle response, suspension feel, even steering weight to match your style. Not in an obvious way, but in a way that feels natural, almost like the car understands you over time. And that brings us to the part most people won't expect. Because this sleeper isn't just about looks or comfort. It's about what happens when you press the accelerator. There are strong hints. that the Nova Sleeper is running a next-generation performance setup, possibly combining a high-output combustion engine with electric assistance. And the result isn't just power, it's instant response. The acceleration doesn't build, it hits. Smooth, controlled, but incredibly fast. There's no hesitation, no lag. Just a surge of power that feels effortless and continuous. And what makes it even more surprising is how quiet and composed it remains while doing it. This is where the idea of a sleeper evolves. It's not just about being fast without looking fast. It's about delivering performance in a way that feels refined, controlled, almost invisible until you need it. The handling follows that same philosophy. Adaptive suspension systems constantly read the road, adjusting in real time to keep the car stable and composed. Whether you're cruising through the city or pushing it through corners, the Nova feels balanced, predictable, and confident. And yet, it never feels harsh. It's comfortable enough for daily driving, smooth enough for long distances, and practical enough to actually live with. This isn't a weekend-only machine. It's something you can drive every day without compromise. Safety and driver assistance systems are integrated seamlessly. Lane guidance, adaptive cruise, collision awareness, all working quietly in the background. Not intrusive, not overwhelming, just there when you need them. And that's what makes this car so interesting. It doesn't force you to choose between performance and usability. It gives you both without making a big deal about it. Emotionally, it sits in a very unique place. It carries the legacy of a name that was once simple, accessible, almost understated. But now it redefines what that identity means in a modern world. It's not trying to compete by being louder, flashier, or more aggressive. It's competing by being smarter, more refined, more complete. So who is this car really for? It's for someone who understands performance, but doesn't need to advertise it. Someone who appreciates technology, but doesn't want it to feel complicated. Someone who wants a car that can surprise people without ever announcing itself. And when you step back and look at the full picture, one thing becomes clear. The 2026-27 Chevy Nova Sleeper isn't just a hidden performance car. It's a new way of thinking about what performance should feel like, quiet when it needs to be, explosive when it matters. And maybe that's the most exciting part, because in a world where everything is trying to stand out, this is the car that wins by blending in. So now I'm curious, if you saw this on the road, would you even realize what it's capable of? Or would you only find out when it's already too late? This video features a mix of officially revealed vehicles, concept designs, and speculative future models based on current trends, leaks, and industry insights. Some visuals, specifications, and features may not reflect final production versions. Performance figures, pricing, and availability are subject to change as manufacturers release official details. This content is created for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only, and should not be considered as official confirmation or buying advice. Always verify details with official brand sources before making any decisions.